All right, so Derek, I'm gonna try this again. The last one wouldn't upload, so this is take two. Um, Basically, I did a split screen just because of the lack of space for video. Couldn't get you all in on any single video. After reviewing this, after everything we talked about today, I want to assure you there are a lot of positive things going on. Um, the simple one-word answer to your drastic improvement, both in velocity and the ability to throw a number of different pitches for strikes, is timing. Timing with your hips, timing with your weight shift, and timing with your arm action is all going to lead to drastic improvement in every aspect of your pitching. And we can watch this through just a couple times just so you can kind of get an idea. You can watch the top one and then the bottom one. But if we look at, while we're watching this, think about some of the things we talked about today. Um, the back hip driving being the lead force in hip rotation, as opposed to being front hip dominant. And you can kind of see in that upper video, you get to the top of leg kick, and you'll see it here in the bottom, top of leg kick, and then front hip, front leg taking over the rotational aspect of your delivery. You can watch that through one more time where you're kind of thinking of that front hip being the dominant force and everything going on. We're going to actually change that with timing. So what I want to do is give you, excuse me, that's my dog. She's trying to have her input. But if we can talk about a couple of things, segmented rotation, we talked about a little bit today, which is, this part of the body going, then this part of the body going, and then this part of the body going. That's ultimately what we're trying to achieve. We get into the presentation part of things and we talk about the speed principle, and which states, as each segment initiates its movement, it finishes, it reaches its maximum angular velocity, then the next segment goes, it will go at a drastically higher rate of speed than the previous segment, and finally ending with the last segment. So if you think of the body as a chain, we call this the kinetic chain. All right, all movement starts at the bottom. All energy comes from the ground and it moves up. So our kinetic chain is each of these links in the body going in sequence at the right time. What you have are a lot of good parts. You've got a lot of great pieces of the chain. They're just not going in the right sequence. So that's where we want to really focus our efforts. And it's not so much, a mechanical fix here or there. It's working on the full kinetic chain of movements. We can look at a couple of things, just to point out, let's say, for instance, location. If we're struggling locating pitches, all right, I would dare say that the majority of your pitches, if you were throwing today, you would miss up and in to a right-handed hitter or low and away to a right-handed hitter. Reason being, I look at your glove side, okay? By the time you're getting ready to throw, look where your glove side is. It's all the way down there. Usually when we see what I would call a weak glove side, okay, in other words, it's not there or there at landing, okay, front foot strike, when we don't see that, okay, but we see that at landing, okay, think about what we're going to ultimately get from that. We're going to get a pitch that takes off that way, or we really try to throw the ball hard and we throw a pitch that way. So usually when we see, again, what I call a weak glove side, a glove side that's already down at our front hip when we're ready to throw the baseball, that's usually going to lead us to pitches up and into a righty, up and away from a lefty, and vice versa. Those are the two places we're going to typically miss. Combined with the front hip dominance, the front hip swinging open early, and I'm not being critical of you, so don't hear it that way, but that's a recipe for disaster as far as trying to pinpoint control in the strike zone. That's not that difficult of a fix, and the two drills I really want you to focus on over the next few days should really start to clear some of that up. Again, to go back to a more positive message, I want you to see that you do have the parts, okay? We talked today about, this back hip moving forward, okay? You're going to see, there's your leg kick. You're going to see right there, okay? You've got some back hip drive, back leg drive. You're doing that. You're just doing it entirely too late, okay? So to give you an example, this position right about there, okay? That's where we want to be as we're coming out of the leg kick. Okay, if you look at yourself about right here, that's where we want, well, maybe I'll give you there, okay? That's where we want the back hip at the top of leg kick, okay? So you can see you're going all the way up to your leg kick, you're coming out of it, and now you're initiating back hip movement. Well, by that time, you're already going into rotation. So what we want to do is start that linear movement, directional movement towards home plate much sooner, okay? So the two drills I want you to focus on this week, and again, these are drills you can do without even throwing a baseball, okay? You can do these, you can do them in your bedroom. You wake up in the morning, knock out 25 to 30, even before you go to bed, hit a few, 50 more. You can do these drills simply to work on changing movement patterns in your body. Okay, so the first one, we're going to call these drills 1 and 2, and you'll see why I call them that for a reason. The first one I'm going to call the 1 second drill. Okay, what we want to focus on is from our first movement, right there, you see your left foot lifting. So from that move right there, all the way into landing, okay, so right there, I want that to take 1 second. 1 Mississippi, 1 1000, however you choose to count it. Put a stopwatch on yourself, however you can do that. I would love for you to focus on, again, taking the knee towards the midpoint of the body like you're doing there. That's great. Okay, but let's go through that. Get the leg as high as we can, as high as you're comfortable with, but let's get back to landing within 1 second. Okay, so that's drill number 1, the 1 second drill. Drill number 2 is called the 2-click drill. Once you grab 2 baseballs, put a baseball in each hand, no glove. Okay, you're going to start your hands around your waist, belly button area, okay, in the stretch, in the set position. As your leg kick initiates, okay, your arms are going to rise up just like they are there. But, so if we start the drill with 2 baseballs, hands separated, on our leg kick up, we're going to click the baseballs together. So our hands are basically staying in the midline of your body. Draw a line from your chin to your belly button, okay, straight down. You're going to click the baseballs together on the way up, and you're going to click them again on the way down. Okay, so another way to say or describe this drill is up together, down together. Your hands are going to go up with your knee, and they're going to go down with your knee. Okay, so you do that a little bit, but see how your hands are breaking before there's any forward movement. Okay, so we want to really work on 1 second drill, and then hands all the way up together, all the way down together. So your hands really shouldn't break. Say break. Okay, your hands shouldn't come out of your glove until you're about right here. All right. And what that's going to do, it'll actually do a couple of things, but first and foremost, it's going to speed your arm action up. Your arm is going to have to move faster to catch up, and that's just a byproduct of your body moving faster. So we talked about that a little bit today. Force equals mass times acceleration. We want to figure out how to accelerate our mass down the mound. Last piece of the puzzle, or last thing I want to point out here, you'll see how your arm is already getting in the up position at that point before you land. So your rotation, see how your hip is beginning to rotate now? So everything is rotating at the exact same speed. Your hip, your trunk, your shoulder are all rotating at the same speed. We want to work on segmented rotation. Okay? Hip rotates. It finishes its rotation. Then our trunk rotates. And finally the shoulder rotates. Okay? We can get a little more in depth into that. I know it's kind of difficult to just walk through a video and grasp all those concepts. But if you'll focus on these two drills, the 1 second drill from first foot movement there to landing, okay, that's 1 second. And then finally hands up together, down together to the 2-click drill. Click 2 baseballs going up, 2 baseballs going down, and then you can go into the throwing motion. Play around with those for the next few days, and I'll be back in town Wednesday night. Maybe we can get together later next week and talk about some things, see where you are. All right, take care, man.